Hi everyone! Many of us may feel that our ability to function daily is somehow disrupted. One reason for that can be having trauma. Understanding what trauma does to you can be first step for recovery. So today I'd like to talk about what trauma is. So briefly, what is trauma? According to Bessel van der Kolk, a renowned psychiatrist and author of The Body Keeps the Score, trauma is something that happens to you that overwhelms you. Trauma changes the way that our nervous system works so that you don't function as well as you could. Similarly, according to Paul Conti, another well-known psychiatrist trained from Stanford and Harvard, trauma is an event that changes the way that your nervous system works such that you function less adaptively going forward from that event. Because your nervous system continues to react as if you are in danger, your functionality is compromised. So you are not able to engage, see other people's point of view, or coordinate your feelings with your thoughts. Stress and trauma are not the same. Stress usually fades when the situation is over. But with trauma, your body keeps re-experiencing it even after the tough time is over. However, even if it is a stressful event at the beginning, when it continues, it can become trauma. For example, long-term work-related stress, financial insecurities, relationship problems, and time pressure can become trauma. Repetitive adverse childhood experience, racism, and poverty are common situations that cause long-term stress, which is traumatic. Prolonged or repetitive exposure to these events can cause complex post-traumatic stress disorder or CPTSD. While PTSD is typically associated with single trauma event, CPTSD often involves prolonged or repetitive trauma events with additional symptoms such as disrupted identity or interpersonal relationships. When we encounter real danger, such as running into a wild animal, we may fight or run away. Alternatively, we could freeze and not move until the animal passes by. These responses are evolutionary adaptations designed to help us survive immediate threats. However, with PTSD or CPTSD, our nervous system continues to react as if we are in danger. So when there is a trigger that reminds us of our trauma, we fight, flight, or freeze. In addition to these responses, therapist Pete Walker introduced the fourth response, which is fawn. I'll talk about these responses in more detail in future videos. In the context of our daily lives, trauma responses are usually less adaptive than acting rationally or strategically. However, we can't control these responses because they occur automatically and rapidly through our autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system response is followed by a release of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. Then our hearts pound faster, the airflow increases by hyperventilation, blood is directed to vital organs, muscles tense up, and the mouth is dried. As more cortisol is released and anxiety builds, our serotonin stores begin to deplete. And because trauma responses lead to physiological change in our body, accessing and working with body is effective component of managing trauma responses. I'll talk about this in a minute. What I'd like to highlight here is that when you have trauma response and don't function well, please don't blame yourself. These are rapid and autonomic responses that occur before you notice and control it. Originally, it is a response that is meant to protect you, but it just occurs more frequent than it needs to be. So we can learn how to deal with it. So here are immediate coping strategies for trauma responses. The first thing you need to do is recognize that you are having trauma response. Speaking to yourself, saying, I'm having a reaction. Understanding that you are experiencing PTSD or CPTSD allows you to recognize that your response is disproportionate to the situation. Following that, you can move on to grounding or strategizing to help yourself navigate things more effectively. Next, access and work with the body to regulate your autonomic nervous system by activating parasympathetic nervous system. Move your body or touch something with full awareness of the sensation. In other words, practice mindful movements or mindful touch. For example, you can stamp your feet, walk around while paying attention to the sensation of your feet on the ground. You can touch something with comforting texture or rub yourself or give yourself a massage with full attention to the sensations. You can also stretch your body or practice yoga with full attention to the movement. And these activities will help you modulate your nervous system. Breathe deeply while focusing on your breath. Practicing diaphragmatic breathing will stimulate your vagus nerve, which is a major component of parasympathetic nerve. So it will promote relaxation and reduce sympathetic arousal. For more interesting approach, you can try color breathing. Associate color with emotions and use breath to visualize inhaling calmness and exhale stressors. For example, inhale a calming color such as blue and exhale a stressor color such as gray. Practice relaxation by adapting relaxed posture or relax your muscle through yoga, stretch, or gentle movement. These movements will help you reduce sympathetic arousal. Finally, be with people with whom you can feel safe. To manage trauma responses and seek further treatment that is tailored to your needs, consider working with mental health professionals. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.